There are some specific things you need to do when designing your building for the laser cutter. First of all, when you go to File, New, and you're setting up your artboard, again, make sure it's set to inches. This time, you can have yours be 24 by 16. And you can set it up either way. It can be 16 by 24 or 24 by 16, either way. And you're going to title it again your last name, but this time it will be building. And now I'm going to click OK to get my artboard. This is the same size as a full sheet of wood that I could put on the laser cutter. So you do not need to use this whole space, but you can use this whole space. You also want to design things to use the space in the best way possible so that you're not wasting too much wood. Okay, so you're going to start creating your building. For most of you, that will be a roof and 4 sides. So we're going to use our rectangle tool and start drawing. And then once you have drawn your basic rectangle, up at the top, width and height can be changed and set exactly to what you want. So you should already have your drawing and you should know the width and height of your top piece and your side pieces, and you can set them exactly in here. So let's say that this is one of my sides and I want it to be 7 by, let's say, 8. I click enter and it changes it for me. And now let's say I want 2 of these because I'm going to have another side that's the exact same. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and actually what it did is it locked these and constrained it, and I didn't want that. So I'm going to unlock them, and I wanted it to be 7 by 8. There we go. So now I have one side, and I know I'm going to have at least one other side that's exactly the same, the opposite side. So what I can do now is get this exactly the way that I want it. So first of all, we want the line, because this is the part that's getting cut out. These are the edges that are going to be cut, so it should be yellow. The stroke should be 0.25. And now I can just go ahead and click on it, and I can edit and copy it, or Control-C to copy. And then I can edit and paste, or on the keyboard I would do Control-V. So now I have 2 of the exact same, and I want to put them really close together. I know it's hard to see on here. Just so you can see better, I'm going to change the lines to black for right now. But remember, they need to be yellow if you want them to cut. Oops, I didn't change it for some reason. Oh, there I did. Okay, so now I can see my 2 sides that are going to be cut. And I can do the same thing. I can set the exact size I want with the width and height for my roof and my other side pieces. The other thing I need to do is create my doors and windows. And we can do basically the same thing. Again, you should know the size you want for your doors and windows because you've set them, or you've drawn them already on your drawing. So let's say mine are 1 inch. Some tips here. First of all, the stroke on these can be wider and the color can be black. And then again, I can Control-C and Control-V to copy and paste. And I can make rows of them. And what I would suggest is making 1 row and selecting them all. So hold down the Shift key while you click on it on multiple things to select all of them. And then I can use my buttons up here to make sure they're aligned and distributed. So I want them to be aligned in the center, and I want them evenly distributed as well, horizontally. So they should have the same space. Now I could group my shapes, object group, and make this one thing, one object, and I can Control C to copy and Control V to paste. And I can have rows of windows. I don't have to redraw them each and every time. And they're going to be aligned. They're going to be exactly the same. And I can just keep pasting them as many as I want. And again, if I wanted to, I could make sure they're distributed. This time I would distribute them vertically. There we go. And you do the same thing for the door. The other part you want to remember is that you're going to put a name on your building, and it should include your last name. So if I use the T here, that's my text tool. I can change the size of the font on here, and I can change the font that I'm using. I want it to look different. It's running a little slow. It kind of shows you a sample of what it would look like. So it should name the type of building and have your name in it as well. And I would make my door. I could add my windows on all the sides if I wanted to get it looking just the way I want. And then before you save it though, always make sure that anything you want cut is yellow and 0.25. If for some reason these colors do not show up for you, there is another way to do it. So you can click on the path and click down here instead, and we can go to the color guide and go to RGB, and it would be FFF 200 to get it to be the exact yellow that we need. So when you're done, File, Save As, and make sure you go to Computer, the S drive, Schlegel, Students, 8th grade laser projects, buildings this time, and click Save.